Rahman Rahim. I'm Dr. Talha. Sorry for the delay. There were some administrative issues over here. So let's start. Our discussion today would be parathyroid disorders. Okay. Now we'll be discussing just briefly the anatomy, then the types of parathyroid disorders, hyper or hypo, their subtypes, clinical features, and diagnosis. Now, just look at this overall sort of diagram or algorithm or the representation of the parathyroid physiology over here. Now, you can see the anatomy over here. It's located over here. Just see the arrow. These are the parathyroid glands. We have 4 of them in our body. And it is composed of 2 types of cells, oxyphil cells and Chief cells. ये आप लोग से नहीं पूछा जाएगा in pathology what are oxyphil cells and what are Chief cells, not in detail, just know the names about and slight bit of the anatomy of parathyroid glands. Okay, these 4 we have in our body. What they do whenever there is a decrease in calcium, okay, these parathyroid hormones are activated. Now, 3 to 4 mechanisms, their purpose is to restore that calcium in our body. One is by absorbing extra calcium from the gut. One is by converting vitamin D into its active form, that is 1,25 hydroxy vitamin D. And thirdly, by bone resorption. Okay, so by these 3 mechanisms, what's happening is, you can see over here, the calcium is increased, again the calcium is increased, again the calcium is increased. Okay, so if you look at this, I'll repeat it again. This is an exam question usually asked in your exams. This is how your viva or your questions starts in exams. How does parathyroid hormone restore calcium when there is hypocalcemia in your body? One is by absorption from the gut. Second, by converting vitamin D into its active form. Obviously, eventually vitamin D will again absorb more calcium from the gut. And thirdly, by bone resorption, that is absorption of calcium from the gut, from the bones, I mean. So the net result is again an increase in calcium. Okay, now this calcium, when it's increased, it will have a negative feedback effect on the parathyroid glands or parathyroid hormones, and it will come back to normal. So this is the normal physiology, a quick way of revision as well, a day before the exam. If you want to study this, okay, you can easily summarize everything in this diagram. So in a nutshell, the bottom line is the parathyroid hormones are basically used in calcium homeostasis. Okay, its basic function is to restore calcium in hypocalcemia, and if there is hypercalcemia, then obviously the level of parathyroid hormones will go down, and that will result in the normalization of calcium. Okay, now this is a question to the students. Okay, just give me a guess. Basically, following is the biochemical bone profile of a 55-year-old man. Routinely annual checkup. He came to the clinic for routine annual checkup. His bone X-ray was normal. He gave history of recurrent kidney stones since last 3 years. He is having recurrent renal stones. Okay. Now, if you look at the laboratory values, sodium is normal. Potassium is also normal. Calcium is on the higher side. Phosphorus is on the lower side. Creatinine is also normal. Investigations which would help in confirming your diagnosis is what? Anybody? D. Very good, Sakina and Priyanka. Okay? That is parathyroid hormone. Now, one thing which I didn't share with you till now, was the phosphorus function. Parathyroid hormone causes an increase in calcium and a decrease in phosphorus as well. Phosphorus was not shown in the previous diagram. Okay, so these are the 2 mechanisms. But when asked in the exam in one line, what is the basic purpose, what is the basic function of parathyroid hormone, you will say it helps in calcium homeostasis. Okay, even if you answer that, you will get full marks inshallah. Okay, phosphorus iska dusra kaam hota hai. It also decreases phosphorus in the body, it increases calcium in the body. So a patient comes to you in the OPD clinic with these values. You can see over here the calcium is on the higher side, the phosphorus is on the lower side. It means this person is secreting inappropriately high levels of parathyroid hormones, because its end result is increase in calcium and decrease increase in phosphorus. So it's simple. So the next investigation you would ask the patient to get it done from the lab is parathyroid hormone. Okay. Now, parathyroid disorders. Now, it can get slightly confusing, but like most of endocrine topics like adrenals and thyroid, parathyroid is also similar. आपको सिर्फ एक link पकड़ना होता है, उसके बाद it becomes simple, ठीक है? And in pathology, as you know, you need to know the normal first to rule out the abnormal. That's why I have used almost 10 minutes to explain you the normal mechanism, because if you don't know the normal, then you can never identify the abnormal. Okay, now you know the normal mechanism of parathyroid hormone, how it works in our body, and it affects which analytes of our body. Okay, now coming to the abnormal part, that is the parathyroid disorders. It is hyperparathyroidism and hypoparathyroidism. Like hyperthyroidism, like hyperadrenalism, you have hyperparathyroidism and hypoparathyroidism. Now both of these have two subtypes. Later on we'll discuss. In hyperparathyroidism, you have primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay, now when we talk about primary, obviously primary means primary. Okay, secondary means secondary, as the word tells you. Primary is autonomous overproduction. ठीक है, खुद ब खुद इसके अंदर आपकी कोई अंडरलाइंग कॉज नहीं होती है. इट जस्ट स्टार्ट्स बाय इटसेल्फ एंड इट कॉजेस rapid production of parathyroid hormones, then increased production of parathyroid hormones. Now secondary, obviously, as the name indicates, is due to an underlying cause which is causing the compensation of that pathology, and hence it's called secondary hyperparathyroidism or secondary hypersecretion of parathyroid. Then there is tertiary hyperparathyroidism, which is slightly interesting. We'll discuss this in detail at the end of the slides. It means persistent hypersecretion. So in one word, if you want to explain everything in your exam and just to memorize for your exam, primary means autonomous, secondary means compensatory, tertiary means persistent. Persistent means even if you remove the underlying cause, still the patient has hyperparathyroidism. Okay. Now, primary hyperparathyroidism. What is the most common cause? Adenoma. 85 to 95% is adenoma. It's a very, very, very common exam question. Okay, note this down. The main cause of primary hyperparathyroidism, adenoma, which is the most common. Then there is hyperplasia, 5 to 10%. Carcinoma can be there, 1%. It's a disease of the adults, usually 50 years के beyond हो रहा होता है. ठीक है, more common in women, that is 4:1 ratio. Okay, simple slide. Now, morphologically, if you look into this, symptomatically, it's untreated manifestations. If it's not treated at the right time, if you don't diagnose it early, what will happen? Osteoporosis can occur, brown tumors can occur, osteitis fibrosa cystica can occur. Okay? Nowadays, these things are rare. I will tell you the reason why it has gone down in frequency. Okay. Now, mostly the manifestations you would look of parathyroid hormones is related to the first diagram you saw. Apart from the gut, the other two, that is kidney manifestations hongi aapko or bone manifestations hogi. Obviously, those are the two places where parathyroid hormone is acting. So you would have renal manifestations, you would have bone manifestations. Here I have highlighted the common ones, and all three are from the bone: osteoporosis, brown tumors, osteitis fibrosa cystica. If parathyroid disorder, that is parathyroid hyperparathyroidism, is left untreated or diagnosed late, these three can occur. Now, there is a diagram. You can see the fibrosis over here, osteitis fibrosa cystica. The intratrabecular tunnels are there. ठीक है, होता क्या है इसके अंदर, मैं थोड़ा सा background बता दूं. This won't be asked in your exam, but just to get your concept clear. Okay, what happens? There are increased osteoclasts in your body because of the parathyroid disorders, and those osteoclasts, as you know, are bone resorption cells. What they do is they start making tunnels in the bone. So there are intratrabecular tunnels which occurs. Okay? And then eventually, obviously, because of osteoporosis, there can be micro fractures in your body, जिसकी वजह से वहाँ hemorrhage हो सकता है. Hemosiderin deposits are there, macrophages are present over there. All these can lead to osteoporosis, brown tumors, and osteitis fibrosa cystica. Now, osteoporosis क्यों हो रहा होता है? Because of increased bone resorption due to osteoclasts. At your age in your body, the normal physiology is that bone forming cells are more and bone resorption cells are less. That is, osteoblasts are more than osteoclasts. When you will reach in your 40s and late 30s and 40s, what happens? The osteoclasts and osteoblasts, that is bone formation and bone resorption, becomes almost equal. Then in old age, what happens? Osteoclast increases, osteoblast decreases. In other words, the bone resorption increases and bone formation decreases, especially in postmenopausal women, because there is decrease in secretion of hormones like estrogen, which have protective effects. And in old age males as well, you can have osteoporosis. It's occurring at a relatively younger age because of parathyroid disorders. The reason is because of the disturbance in your physiology. Okay. So that is the basic concept of osteoporosis. Obviously, when you will have osteoporosis, you will have easily breakable bones. जिस चीज से आपको चोट नहीं लगनी चाहिए थी, फ्रैक्चर नहीं होना चाहिए था, उससे भी फ्रैक्चर हो जाता है इसके अंदर. So you tend to have micro fractures in your body because of the increased bone resorption occurring because of hyperparathyroidism. Okay. So hallmark of severe hyperparathyroidism is generalized osteitis fibrosa cystica. It's also called von Recklinghausen disease of the bone. ठीक है, कॉमन है, पहले होता था, आजकल इतना कॉमन नहीं है. एंड द रीजन इज दिस. What's the basic reason? The reason is that nowadays, when just because of slightly increased awareness, patient tends to get their calcium and bone metabolic profile tested very early. So when they get parathyroid hormone and calcium, even if they get the calcium checked and it's found to be on the higher side, they tend to go to the clinician, they get the vitamin D done, they get the phosphorus done, they get the PTH done, and it's diagnosed slightly early. So you don't tend to reach the stage where where you develop this disease. Okay. Okay, now on the next slide. Now, again, that was the bone effect. Okay, now coming to the renal effect. I told you, no, two organs are primarily affected, bones and kidneys, in primary hyperparathyroidism. Okay, remember this. When the PTH is increased, what happens? When the PTH is increased, you have increased calcium. And increased calcium leads to increased calcium oxalate stones or calcium other sort of calcium stones, increased urinary stones, which leads to nephrocalcinosis. Obviously, then you have renal pathologies. All the renal pathologies you can have recurrent infections. You can have recurrent infections. You can have again a blockage, obstruction, which can lead to hydronephrosis in your kidneys. All those complications can be there. So just remember this whenever you hear about this hyperparathyroidism. You have to consider the renal issues, you have to consider the bone issues. Bone issues, I'm again repeating, these are exam questions. Okay, the bone issues are osteoporosis, brown tumors, osteitis fibrosa cystica. Nowadays it's not very common because of early diagnosis. And in renal issues, you tend to have stones. Okay, renal stones. Now, asymptomatic hyperparathyroidism can also be there. It can be diagnosed incidentally. ठीक है, asymptomatic hypercalcemia होगा, कोई patient आएगा, you get his routines labs checked, and you will see asymptomatic primary hyperparathyroidism, inappropriately elevated against calcium levels, PTH would be found. Now, the complications or the clinical course, simple, बहुत पुरानी सेइंग है, पेनफुल बोन्स, रीनल स्टोन्स. ठीक है, ये वो बन जाते हैं आपकी abdominal groans and psychic moans. You have start having pain in your abdomen, you start having renal stones, you start having painful bones. ठीक है, all these problems tends to occur. Immediately you have to go to your physician and get your bone profile checked. He will get your calcium checked, phosphorus, magnesium, PTH, vitamin D, magnesium, all these tests are included. At times, they even get the creatinine and urea done. I will tell you the reason why. Now, there will be bone disease, there would be bone pain. We have already studied this. There would be nephrolithiasis. The recurrent renal stones can also lead to chronic renal insufficiency. Gastrointestinal disturbances are always there whenever you have calcium problems, whenever you have disturbance in your calcium metabolism, you will have GI symptoms. CNS alterations would be there. Neuromuscular abnormalities would be there. Cardiac manifestations would be there. In your exam, beta, even if you say 2 or 3 of them, especially don't miss the bone part, okay, and don't miss the renal part, okay. at least इतना जरूर बोलना है एग्जाम में, whenever there is you are asked about the symptoms or the complications or the prognosis, जिसमें आप पूरा पाथवे बताओगे, उसके अंदर एटलीस्ट बोन्स और रीनल इश्यूज जरूर बताना, ठीक है. CNS, cardiac manifestations, gastro manifestations are also there, but the important ones are bone and renal. Okay. Now, secondary hyperparathyroidism. What is secondary? Secondary means obviously there is an underlying cause to it. And okay, what happens? Conditions give rise to hypocalcemia. Because of the hypocalcemia, what happens? When the calcium levels goes down, obviously there is a feedback mechanism in our body. Then the signal would go to the parathyroid hormone, and it will lead to an increase in parathyroid hormone. Okay, to compensate hypocalcemia. So, and the most common cause is renal failure. Again, the fourth exam question I'm telling you. The first exam question I told you, the cause of primary hyperparathyroidism. What was the cause of primary hyperparathyroidism? Anybody? The main cause of primary hyperparathyroidism? Adenoma. Very good, Ayman Tariq. Okay. That was the main cause. Now coming to the secondary hyperparathyroidism, the main cause, the most common cause is renal failure. Okay. And the underlying mechanism is hypocalcemia. It can be due to renal failure. It can be due to vitamin D deficiency as well. Another cause. Okay. But remember renal failure. Okay. Now, you would have hyperplastic parathyroid glands, asymmetrical glandular enlargement of the parathyroid glands, and metastatic calcifications can be there. At times, the laboratory report can be slightly confusing because you will see that the PTH is on the higher side, but calcium is in the normal range. Then you will say, how come the calcium is in normal range when the PTH is on the higher side? Then you have to get other tests done like urea and creatinine to look into it, that if it's secondary hyperparathyroidism, obviously it would have started from hypocalcemia. Now, because of the increased parathyroid hormone, that hypocalcemia has moved towards normocalcemia. That's why in secondary hyperparathyroidism you can even have normal calcium levels. ठीक है, लेकिन वो compensation के बाद की रिपोर्ट होती है obviously. ठीक है, at the start करवाओगे तो calcium low होगा, PTH बढ़ना शुरू हो रहा होगा, but after a certain time the parathyroid will start having its effect, the hormone would start having its effect, and the calcium will get into the normal range. There can be milder skeletal abnormalities in this. There can be calciphylaxis as well, vascular calcifications, ischemic damage. Obviously, wherever there is vascular calcifications, you tend to have ischemia. Peripheries में हो या heart में हो या कहीं भी हो. Now, the third one which I told you is tertiary hyperparathyroidism, जिसके अंदर autonomous या excessive hypercalcemia हो जाता है. ठीक है, what happens is that secondary hyperparathyroidism, or the effect that was causing secondary hyperparathyroidism, like renal failure, the condition that was causing it, has lasted for so long that now it has become persistent. आपकी बॉडी के अंदर hyperparathyroidism अब रहेगा ही रहेगा हमेशा, और will always be on the higher side. The secondary has transformed into tertiary, and it has become now autonomous or excessive or persistent, you can say. That is called tertiary hyperparathyroidism. Even if that stimuli is removed, even if the hypocalcemia is corrected, still the parathyroid hormones won't get back to normal. So, okay, got it? This is tertiary hyperparathyroidism. Now, interesting question for you, okay? A 47-year-old female is noted to have high serum calcium with normal creatinine at the time of routine visit. Investigations after 1 month shows, you can see over here, calcium is high, vitamin D is normal, PTH is high, calcium is also high, PTH is also high, and phosphorus is low. Now, anybody? Guess? Okay. I can see the answer A as well and B as well. Okay, let me tell you the answer. Primary hyperparathyroidism. ठीक है, B is the correct answer. You can, again, the catch in the stem was normal creatinine levels. It means the renal function was normal. There was no underlying cause that was causing hyperparathyroidism. Okay, so secondary को आप rule out कर दो. जब secondary rule out हो जाता है, tertiary भी rule out हो जाएगा आपका, ठीक है, वो क्योंकि वो आगे जाके होता है. So primary, look at it, it's a very very common picture of primary hyperparathyroidism. The calcium is high, the phosphorus is low. It means there is autonomous production of parathyroid going on in your body, and PTH is on the higher side. As I told you, खैर वो अभी आगे बताता हूँ. सेकेंडरी के अंदर एट टाइम्स यू कैन हैव नॉर्मल कैल्शियम लेवल्स एज वेल. ओके, so primary hyperparathyroidism is the right answer. Now again a question. Okay, a 62-year-old male of, this should be easy for you now. Okay, a 62-year-old male of chronic renal failure has extreme bone pains, findings of typical renal osteodystrophies. He has following biochemical profile: calcium is high, urea is high, phosphorus is high, and blood PTH is also high. Anybody? You need to type the answer. You don't have multiple questions over here. Okay, let's wait. It is tertiary hyperparathyroidism. Okay, I will tell you the reason why. It has long-standing renal failure, जो इसमें mention नहीं है. By looking at the urea levels, you can judge that. ठीक है, calcium normal हो गया है because of the secondary effect on it, and PTH you can see is on a very high side. Usually you tend to have this. I won't say secondary is a totally wrong answer. Okay, secondary पे भी आपको marks मिल जाएंगे, but primarily because of the long-standing renal osteodystrophies he's having, you would have tertiary hyperparathyroidism. Secondary, I won't say secondary answer is totally wrong. Okay, अच्छा. Tertiary में क्या होता है? Natural course is there, renal failure is there, the underlying cause is again renal failure, but despite of the correction of hypocalcemia, still you will have high PTH levels, and there would be hypertrophy of the chief cells. Okay, now here you have the summary of everything. ठीक है, summary, that is definition of primary is PTH overproduction, and then secondary is PTH overproduction due to an abnormal stimulus. Tertiary is long-standing secondary hyperparathyroidism, excessive secretion. Persistent is the more better word, I would say. ठीक है, so primary, secondary and tertiary. The causes, all of you now remember, आप लोगों को memorize हो गया होगा. ठीक है, adenoma is there in primary, chronic renal failure or vitamin D deficiency in secondary, long-standing CRF or prolonged secondary hyperparathyroidism in tertiary. Okay, values में calcium is on the higher side, PTH is on the higher side, phosphorus is on the lower side in primary. Secondary में I told you it can be normal as well. ठीक है, normal इस वजह से होता है कि वो hypo को ले आता है normal की तरफ, the high PTH levels you have over here. Okay, again in tertiary also it can be high on the it can be normal, it can be high. The phosphorus, PTH and calcium are usually high. Now this question, I have quite a few questions in this presentation. The reason is कि आप लोगों का ये पक्का हो जाए, एग्जाम में आप लोग एकदम से कंफ्यूज ना हो जाओ जब क्वेश्चंस आएंगे इसके ना. Now this is a 32-year-old female who has attacks of numbness and spasm of the lower limb off and on. She has following bone profile. She has hypocalcemia, you can see. Renal status is slightly deranged. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा यूरिया बढ़ा हुआ है. Phosphorus is on the higher side. Now PTH is on the lower side. Now answer this. Just use common sense and just remember the first diagram I showed you. Okay. Anybody? Hadika. A. Okay. Again A. Okay. Now the answer is hypoparathyroidism. Very good. ठीक है, hypoparathyroidism. ठीक है, if you remember the normal physiology, I always say, I mentioned this at the start of presentation as well. ठीक है, you need to know the normal first. In pathology also you need to know the normal first, then only you can diagnose the abnormal. ठीक है, the normal is that parathyroid hormones deficiency में क्या होगा, calcium कम हो जाएगा, phosphorus बढ़ जाएगा. ठीक है, पैराथायराइड हार्मोन की एक्सिस में कैल्शियम बढ़ा हुआ होगा, फास्फोरस कम होगा। हेयर यू हैव हाई कैल्शियम लेवल्स एंड लो फास्फोरस लेवल्स। लो, अगर मैं आपको ये फोर्थ बुलेट ना भी देता पीटीएच, कॉमन सेंस होता है कि दिस पर्सन हैज हाइपोपैराथायराइडिज्म बिकॉज द फास्फोरस ऑन द हायर साइड, द कैल्शियम इज ऑन द लोअर साइड। सो ये तो दे दिया, वरना अगर ये बुलेट नहीं भी होता, if I hadn't told you the PTH level, still most of you would have diagnosed this. ठीक है, it is hypoparathyroidism. Now the causes of, again, the fifth exam question or the sixth exam question I'm telling you, the primary cause of hypoparathyroidism is thyroid surgery, the most common cause. Okay, the most common cause. Okay, ठीक है, जेनेटिक कॉजेज भी होती है, ऑटो इम्यून या कंजेनाइटल, बट नॉट वेरी कॉमन एट ऑल। ठीक है, व्हेनेवर द एग्जामिनर आस्क्स यू अबाउट the common cause of hypoparathyroidism, it is thyroid surgery, or any other neck surgery can be also there, but mostly thyroid surgery. Okay, okay, so if the patient comes to you with the bone profile I showed you, that is low calcium levels, high phosphorus levels, okay, the first question after the initial history you would ask is, आपकी कोई थायराइड की सर्जरी तो नहीं हुई कभी माजी में, आपकी कोई गर्दन की सर्जरी तो नहीं हुई है माजी में, in the past. ठीक है, that is the first question after your initial history you have to ask the patient. If you see the bone profile which I just showed you in the previous slide, ठीक है, so thyroid surgery is the most common cause. Now, the hallmarks of hypoparathyroidism: tetany, hypocalcemia, as I showed you in the exam question as well, attacks of numbness and spasm of the lower limbs, ये सब hypocalcemia में हो रहा होता है, ठीक है। अच्छा, then you have these on the right side, you can see the different Trousseau side and Shostak sign जो आप लोग ने पढ़े होंगे एग्जाम्स मेडिकल मेडिसिन के अंदर, और बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स में भी, फिजियोलॉजी में भी पढ़ा होगा। ठीक है, you start raising the blood pressure in this one, and when you reach a certain level, obviously there is flexion of the wrist which occurs, and if you start tapping the area on the right side of your on the left side of your cheek, just ahead of the ear, then there is twitching over there. So you get the Trousseau sign is there, Shostak sign is there. Again, the hallmark is tetany of hypoparathyroidism, which is occurring because of hypocalcemia. There can be mental status changes, there can be intracranial manifestations, ocular diseases, ठीक है, CVS manifestations, dental abnormalities, ये सब आपको आप ये टेबल उसमें एग्जाम में याद करके जाओगे। ठीक है, the hallmark, I am repeating again and again, is hypocalcemia, which obviously causes tetany. Now, the last, I think this is the last one, right? Is pseudo hypoparathyroidism. It occurs because of end organ resistance to the action of PTH. Serum PTH levels are normal or elevated, presents as hypocalcemia, hyperphosphatemia, and elevated circulating parathyroid hormone. Now what happens is, again, इसमें आपका पीटीएच या पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड का कोई इशू नहीं है, देयर इज रेजिस्टेंस इन द पेरिफेरीज, जहां पे पैराथायराइड हार्मोन को एक्ट करना था, दोज रिसेप्टर्स आर नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपर्ली। ठीक है, पैराथायराइड हार्मोन इज कॉन्स्टेंटली बीइंग रिलीज्ड बट इट्स अनेबल टू एक्ट. If it's unable to act, obviously what will happen, the calcium levels would go down in your body, the phosphorus levels will go up in your body. ठीक है, and in this, because of these two mechanisms, that is hypocalcemia and hyperphosphatemia, the signal that is going to the parathyroid hormone is constant production of parathyroid hormone, so you end up having elevated parathyroid hormones. ठीक है, before taking your questions, ठीक है, I would just recall this. ठीक है, just remember the 4 or 5 questions I tell you. ठीक है, that is the cause of primary hyperparathyroidism, the primary cause of secondary hyperparathyroidism, what is tertiary hyperparathyroidism, ठीक है, the cause of hypoparathyroidism, the bone and the renal manifestations of hyperparathyroidism. ठीक है, these are 6 or 7 common very common. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि पैराथायराइड आपके एग्जाम में आए और ये क्वेश्चंस आपसे ना पूछे जाएं. These are very common questions. ठीक है, pure exam questions. Any questions from your side? Anyone? Okay, let me ask a few questions before we end. We have almost 10 minutes. ठीक है, number one, now tell me the main cause of primary hyperparathyroidism again. Adenoma. Okay, tell me very good. Everyone is answering. ठीक है, tell me the main cause of secondary hyperparathyroidism, the underlying main cause. Very good, Priyanka. And ठीक है, Maham, everyone is answering the giving the right answer. Any other apart from renal cause? Zainullah. There was one more cause. Very good, very good. Vitamin D deficiency. ठीक है, not as common as renal failure, but at least आपको अगर examiner पूछता है तो then you can answer. Otherwise, renal failure is sufficient. Tell me the main cause of hypoparathyroidism. Thyroid surgery. Very good. ठीक है, thyroidectomy is also the right answer. ठीक है, any other neck surgery can also cause it. Okay, Amna, thyroid surgery. अच्छा, now the bone problems that can occur due to hyperparathyroidism, the primary hyperparathyroidism. Slightly difficult one, but you should memorize now because I've repeated so many times. Anybody? Osteoporosis. Very good. Very good, Hadika. Osteoporosis, brown tumors, osteitis fibrosa cystica. Everyone has answered correctly. Osteoporosis is there, osteitis fibrosa cystica is there. ठीक है, ठीक है, अब इसकी डीप मॉर्फोलॉजी है, सेल्स कौन से आ रहे हैं, सेल्स कौन से जा रहे हैं, वो याद करने की इतनी जरूरत नहीं है. बस इतना याद रखो कि बिकॉज ऑफ ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस यू हैव माइक्रो फ्रैक्चर्स, यू हैव डिपोजिशन ऑफ हेमोसिड्रिन ओवर देयर, हेमोरेज हल्के से हो जाता है, सो इट इवेंचुअली टर्न्स ब्राउन, सो इट्स कॉल्ड ब्राउन ट्यूमर. ठीक है, एंड देयर आर टनल्स फॉर्म बिकॉज ऑफ द ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट प्रोडक्शन, सो दैट leads to osteitis fibrosa cystica. Nowadays it's not very common because of the initial testing we have in our labs. Now ठीक है, and what was the hallmark of hypoparathyroidism? Generally you have symptoms because of what in hypoparathyroidism? Tetany. Very good, very good. Okay, these are the main exam questions. बाकी physiology में मैं अब नहीं जा रहा. ठीक है, कैल्शियम कंट्रोल करेगा, वो phosphorus कंट्रोल करेगा. Just remember those 2 points primarily. ठीक है, ओके बेटा. ओके नोमान.
जी सर, जी सर.
हाँ, Numan, it's over. ठीक है.